The rain pounded against the windshield like accusations I couldn't escape, and there I was, stranded on a desolate stretch of Interstate 80 in Nevada, with Genesis, my mom's closest friend, staring at me from the driver's seat, as if she'd just uncovered my deepest secret. My phone had died hours ago. The car's engine sputtered to a halt in the middle of nowhere, and in that suffocating silence, I blurted out the words I'd buried for years. Genesis, I'm in love with you. Her face twisted in shock, and before I could retract it, she leaned in and kissed me, soft and desperate, sealing a fate neither of us could have predicted. My name is Nova, and up until that moment, my life had been a carefully constructed facade of normalcy in suburban Chicago. At 22, I was fresh out of college, majoring in psychology because I thought understanding minds would help me fix my own tangled thoughts. But nothing prepared me for this road trip, a supposed bonding adventure my mom insisted on after I came out to her as lesbian 6 months earlier. She didn't take it well, tears, prayers, and endless lectures about how it was just a phase, how I'd disappoint the family if I didn't straighten out. Genesis, her best friend since high school, was roped in as the chaperone, the wise older woman who could talk sense into me. Little did Mom know, Genesis had been the spark that ignited my self-discovery. As we sat in the stalled car, the kiss lingering like a forbidden promise, my mind raced through the what-ifs. What if Mom found out? What if this ruined everything? Genesis pulled back, her breath uneven, eyes wide with a mix of fear and something deeper, regret? Desire? Nova, we can't, she whispered, but her hand stayed on my cheek, warm and trembling. I wanted to scream that we could, that I'd been watching her for years at family gatherings, admiring her poise, her laugh, the way she challenged my mom's conservative views with subtle grace. She was 38, divorced, a successful lawyer in New York, and everything I aspired to be, independent, unapologetic. But now, in this breakdown, literal and emotional, I felt exposed, raw. The storm outside mirrored the one inside me. I'd always been the good daughter, the one who excelled in school to make up for the whispers about my tomboy ways. Coming out had been my first act of rebellion, but it came at a cost. Mom's disappointment hung over me like a shadow. She'd confided in Genesis, begging her to fix me during this trip. And here we were, crossing lines that could never be uncrossed. Genesis fumbled for her phone, calling for roadside assistance, her voice steady but her glances at me fraught with unspoken questions. Why me? Why now? I pondered the same, my heart pounding as I recalled the subtle moments that led here. The late-night talks when she'd visit, her hand brushing mine accidentally, or so I thought. Hours dragged on as we waited for help. The tow truck was delayed by the weather, forcing us into conversation that peeled back layers I'd hidden. Tell me why, Genesis said softly, turning off the radio's static hum. I hesitated, then poured it out. The loneliness of hiding my identity in a family steeped in tradition, the Catholic guilt Mom instilled, the societal stares that made me question my worth. She listened, her expression softening, sharing her own story. How she'd questioned her sexuality in her 20s but buried it under marriage and career, only to divorce when the facade cracked. I thought I was straight, she admitted, until moments like this make me wonder. Her words ignited hope but also terror. Was this real or just the isolation playing tricks? By the time the mechanic arrived, diagnosing a faulty alternator, the kiss felt like a dream. We checked into a dingy motel in the nearest town, Elko, sharing a room because options were slim. Lying in separate beds, I stared at the ceiling, my mind a whirlwind. What price would I pay for this truth? Mom's rejection? Genesis's friendship lost? Society's judgment on an age gap romance, let alone a same-sex one? I turned to her silhouette in the dark, whispering, "Do you regret it?" She didn't answer immediately, then sighed. "No, but we have to be careful. This could destroy us both." Her words hung heavy, a prelude to the conflicts brewing. The next morning we hit the road again, the car fixed but the air between us charged. I stole glances at her profile, elegant and composed, wondering if she'd pull away. Instead, she reached for my hand at a stoplight, squeezing it briefly. "Let's talk about this later," she said, but her tone held promise. My inner turmoil surged, elation mixed with dread. I'd always internalized the prejudices, the news stories of disowned queer kids, the family dinners where uncles joked about those people. Now I was one of them, entangled with someone forbidden. As we drove toward California, the landscape blurring, I questioned my choices. Was love worth the fallout? Genesis broke the silence with stories of her youth. Growing up in a strict household like mine, where deviation meant exile. I chose safety over happiness, she confessed, her voice cracking. Don't make my mistakes. But her eyes betrayed her. She was reconsidering her own path. I felt a surge of empathy, realizing her poise masked deep scars. This trip meant to cure me was awakening us both. Yet, doubt gnawed, was I projecting my feelings? Manipulating her vulnerability? The moral quandary twisted in my gut. Betraying Mom's trust, pursuing someone older, defying norms. We stopped for lunch in Reno, the casino lights a stark contrast to our heavy hearts. Over burgers, she probed my dreams. Grad school, therapy work for LGBTQ youth. You're brave, she said, admiration in her gaze. I blushed, but inside, I wrestled with guilt. Mom texted, checking in, her words innocuous but laced with expectation. I lied in my reply, saying all was fine. The deception burned. I'd never been dishonest before. Genesis noticed my unease, covering my hand with hers under the table. We'll figure this out, she promised. But as we left, a passerby's stare at our closeness ignited paranoia. Was this the start of scrutiny? Driving on, the conversation deepened. I shared my fears of family rejection, how Dad's absence after the divorce left Mom as my anchor, fragile and judgmental. Genesis nodded, revealing her own divorce stemmed from unspoken attractions she ignored. I hurt him by pretending, she said, tears welling. Her vulnerability drew me closer, but also highlighted the stakes. What if this ended in pain for everyone? My mind raced with scenarios. Confrontation, heartbreak, isolation. Yet, in that moment, holding her gaze, I felt seen for the first time. As dusk fell, we approached Lake Tahoe, the beauty lost on me amid inner chaos. Genesis suggested a walk by the water, but I declined, overwhelmed. In the hotel room, she confronted me. Nova, if this is too much, we stop now. Her words pierced. I wanted her. But at what cost? I pulled her into a hug, whispering, I can't stop. She held me, and in that embrace, decisions solidified. But sleep evaded me, plagued by thoughts of betrayal. Mom's face haunted me, her love conditional on my conformity. Society's voice echoed, unnatural, immoral. I questioned everything. Was this right? Morning light filtered through the curtains, but the weight of last night's confessions pressed on me like an unspoken verdict. Genesis stirred, her bob hair tousled, looking more human than the polished lawyer I knew. We avoided eye contact over coffee, the silence thick with implications. As we packed the car for the drive to San Francisco, my phone buzzed. Mom again, her message cheerful but probing. How's the trip with Genesis? She's good influence, right? I stared at the screen, fingers hovering, the lie forming before I could stop it. Great, learning a lot. Guilt twisted like a knife. This was the first crack in our family bond, one I might never mend. On the road, Genesis finally spoke, her voice steady but laced with tension. Nova, what happened? It can't happen again. Not like this. Her words stung, a rejection wrapped in reason. I nodded, but inside, rebellion flared. Why not? Because of age? Society? Mom. I internalized the conflict, replaying her kiss, her touch, moments that felt right amid the wrongness. She was everything. Mentor, confidant, now lover? But the label terrified me. In a world that still debated our rights, pursuing this meant war on multiple fronts. We stopped at a viewpoint overlooking the Sierra Nevada, the vastness mocking our smallness. Talk to me, she urged, leaning against the railing. I exploded then, words tumbling out. The years of suppression, the crushes on girls dismissed as phases, the isolation in a heteronormative bubble. You make me feel alive, I admitted, voice breaking. Genesis's eyes softened, but she countered with reality. I'm twice your age, Nova. Your mom's best friend. This screams scandal. Her logic was sound, but my heart rebelled. Was morality absolute, or did love bend it? As we drove, she shared more. Her conservative upbringing in Texas, moving to New York for freedom, yet never fully embracing it. I dated men to fit in, she confessed. But women. There were glances unspoken. Her vulnerability fueled my hope, but also my fear. If she regretted this, I'd be devastated. My mind churned with ethical dilemmas. Was I taking advantage of her midlife crisis? She of my youth? The power imbalance loomed, a societal red flag. Lunch in Sacramento brought distraction, but tension simmered. A family at the next table eyed us curiously. Did they sense something? Paranoia gripped me. In America, progress coexisted with backlash. Mom's church friends would label us sinners. I pushed food around my plate, inner monologue raging. Why fight for this? Because denial was killing me slowly. Genesis noticed, squeezing my knee under the table. A risky gesture that thrilled and terrified. Afternoon traffic slowed us, amplifying the intimacy. We discussed dreams. Mine for advocacy, hers for pro bono work with queer clients. I've hidden too long, she said, a spark in her eyes. I seized it. Then don't hide now. But she withdrew, citing consequences. Your mom would never forgive me. The mention of mom hit hard. She'd been my rock, yet her love felt conditional. Flashbacks assaulted me. Her tears at my coming out, prayers for my salvation. Betraying her felt like self-betrayal. By evening, in a San Francisco hotel, exhaustion set in. We shared a room again, budgets tight. As she showered, I paced, debating confrontation. When she emerged towel-wrapped, I couldn't hold back. Genesis, if we ignore this, we'll regret it forever. She sighed, sitting beside me. It's not that simple. Think of the fallout. We argued then, voices low but intense, me pushing for authenticity, her for caution. Her fears mirrored mine. Family ostracism, career damage in a judgmental field. The night deepened our bond despite the rift. We talked until dawn, sharing secrets. She admitted attraction simmering for months, noticing my maturity beyond years. But ethics matter, she insisted. I countered, love defies rules. The moral tug-of-war exhausted us, but in vulnerability, connection grew. I lay awake, questioning. Was this selfish? Society screamed yes, age gaps, same-sex betrayal. But my heart whispered no. Morning brought resolve. Over breakfast, Genesis proposed a plan. Continue the trip, explore feelings discreetly, decide later. I agreed, hope flickering. But as we toured the city, hand-holding in crowds, reality intruded. A call from Mom. Genesis says you're opening up. Proud of you. The deception burned. Genesis had texted her vaguely. Anger surged. Was she playing both sides? I confronted her at Alcatraz, voices echoing off walls. You told her what? She defended. Just enough to keep peace. Betrayal stung, trust fractured. You're scared, I accused. She nodded, tears falling. Terrified. For us both. The admission softened me, but doubt seeded. Was she committed, or hedging? Inner conflict raged. Forgive or flee? We left the island in silence, the bay's chill matching my mood. Driving south, tension eased into tentative reconciliation. She apologized, explaining fear rooted in past losses. Her divorce, family estrangement. I don't want that for you. Empathy washed over me. Her caution was protection. But my impatience grew. I wanted all or nothing. At a Monterey Beach stop, we walked, waves crashing like our emotions. Let's try, she whispered, kissing my forehead. Joy surged, but shadows lingered. What price this happiness? Evening in a coastal inn, we reflected. I shared childhood memories. Hiding diaries, fearing discovery. She recounted suppressing crushes, marrying to conform. Society molds us, she said bitterly. I agreed, vowing change. But as sleep came, anxiety whispered. Mom's suspicion, societal backlash. Was this worth the pain? The drive down Highway 1 was a blur of ocean views and brewing storms, both literal and metaphorical. Genesis gripped the wheel tighter as rain started again, her profile tense. Last night's tentative agreement felt fragile, like glass under pressure. My phone vibrated, Mom persistent. Call me when you can. Miss you. I ignored it, guilt coiling. How long before lies unraveled? Genesis glanced over. You should talk to her. I snapped back. And say what? I'm falling for your best friend. The words hung, a challenge unmet. We pulled into Big Sur, the rugged cliffs a metaphor for our precarious path. Over coffee at a cafe, she broached the inevitable. We need boundaries. I bristled. Boundaries meant denial. Why fight what's real? I argued. She countered with logic. Age difference scrutiny, friendship betrayal, societal norms. In court I'd lose this case, she joked weakly. But humor masked pain. Her eyes revealed internal war. I pondered her sacrifices. Career over personal life, conformity over truth. Was I asking too much? As we hiked a trail, solitude amplified confessions. I've never felt this way, she admitted, breathless from the climb. Hope soared, but reality crashed. A passing couple stared, whispering. Paranoia flared. Were we obvious? In America, acceptance varied. Coastal liberalism clashed with heartland conservatism. Mom embodied the latter. Her values clashing with my identity. Inner turmoil surged. Pursue love, risk exile? Lunch in Carmel brought confrontation. My frustration boiled. You're holding back. Genesis sighed. Because I care. Rushing could destroy you. Her protectiveness touched me, but also infuriated. I'm not a child. I retorted. The argument escalated, voices rising, me demanding commitment, her urging patience. Diners glanced, embarrassment burned. We left abruptly, silence deafening in the car. Afternoon brought reflection. Driving through vineyards, she shared regrets. Ignoring her sexuality led to a loveless marriage, depression. I woke up at 35 alone. Her story mirrored my fears. Suppression's cost was high. Empathy softened my anger. She wasn't rejecting me, but protecting us. Yet, doubt persisted. Could we overcome obstacles? In San Luis Obispo, we checked into a B&B, the quaint charm contrasting our chaos. Evening walks led to deep talks. Society judges us harshly, she said, referencing news of anti-LGBT bills. I nodded, sharing school bullying stories. But love wins, I insisted naively. She smiled sadly. Sometimes at great cost. Her words echoed. What would I sacrifice? Family? Stability? Night brought intimacy, conversations turning personal. She described awakening attractions post-divorce, therapy helping. You're the first I've acted on. Flattery mixed with fear. Was I an experiment? My mind raced. Moral implications of being her first. Pressure to be perfect. Risk of heartbreak. Morning texts from mom escalated. Genesis says you're distant. Everything okay? Panic hit. She'd sensed something. I confronted Genesis. What did you tell her? Defensiveness flared. Nothing specific. She's worried. Betrayal resurfaced, trust waned. You're still loyal to her, I accused. She denied, but hesitation spoke volumes. The drive south turned hostile, arguments flaring over loyalty intentions. In Santa Barbara, we paused at the beach, waves soothing frayed nerves. I choose you, she declared suddenly, pulling me close. Relief washed over, but skepticism lingered. Was this genuine or damage control? Inner debate raged. Forgive past waivers or guard heart. As we approached Los Angeles, complications mounted. Genesis's phone rang. Her ex-husband, cordial but probing about the trip. Jealousy spiked. Remnants of her straight life haunted. Old habits, she dismissed. But it highlighted divides. Her past versus our future. In LA traffic, exhaustion peaked. We argued again. Me pushing for openness, her for secrecy. Mom will disown me, I vented. She empathized. Mine did when I divorced. Shared pain bonded us, but also underscored risks. Hotel in Hollywood, stars mocking our drama. Night confessions. I admitted using the trip to escape mom's pressure. She revealed suggesting the chaperone role to be near me. Shock hit. Premeditated? I felt the spark, she confessed. Flattery turned to unease. Manipulation? Sleep evaded, mind-churning ethics. Consent, power dynamics, betrayal. Dawn brought resolve. Confront truths. Breakfast tense but honest. We face this together, she proposed. I agreed warily, hope tempered by caution. Driving to San Diego, mood lightened. We planned hypotheticals, telling Mom, navigating judgment. Optimism grew, but undercurrents of doubt persisted. At the zoo, animal freedom contrasted our chains. A lesbian couple passed hand in hand, envy surged. That could be us, I whispered. Genesis squeezed my hand. Someday. Evening reflection. Sacrifices loomed. Family ties strained, societal battles ahead. Was love worth it? My heart said yes, but mind wavered. San Diego's sun mocked our shadowed hearts as we navigated the final leg, the end of the trip looming like Judgment Day. Genesis's grip on my hand tightened at a red light, her eyes distant. What happens when we get home? I voiced the unspoken fear. She didn't answer immediately, the silence a chasm. Back in Chicago, reality awaited. Mom's expectations, our secret's volatility. My inner voice screamed warnings, betrayal's sting, society's scorn. We visited the beach, sand warm underfoot, but tension chilled the air. I can't lose you, she murmured, waves drowning her words. Emotion swelled. I'd traded safety for this. But doubts assaulted. Her loyalty split between me and Mom. Flashbacks to arguments fueled paranoia. Lunch at a seaside cafe brought crisis. Mom called, voice sharp. Nova, what's going on? Genesis says you're emotional. Accusation hung. She'd shared too much. I hung up, fury boiling. You betrayed me. I hissed at Genesis. She paled. I was protecting you. The lie exposed fractures, trust shattered. Drive turned volatile, accusations flying. You're playing safe, I charged. She countered. You're impulsive. Words cut deep, exposing vulnerabilities. My youth, her caution. Moral crossroads. Continue or end before destruction. In a park stop, reconciliation attempted. Tears flowed, she apologized. Fear controls me. I empathized, sharing my own terrors. Disownment, isolation. Bond reformed, but scars remained. As we neared home, stakes heightened. Genesis proposed delay. Give time. I refused. No more hiding. Ultimatum loomed. Choices crystallized. Evening in a motel outside LA. Wait, backtrack. No pushing north now. Trip's end approached. Confusion mirrored plot. Wait, chronology. From Nevada to California, now returning? Adjust, assuming loop back. Actually, trip was cross-country, now heading back east? Prompt implies road trip, stranded start. Proceed. Night deepened conflicts. In room we face truths. This ends families, she warned. I persisted. Or builds new ones. Debate raged. Ethics of pursuit versus harm. Sleep brought nightmares. Mom's rejection, societal exile. Awake, resolve wavered. Morning, final drive. Mom texted ultimatum. Home soon? We talk. Panic surged. Confrontation inevitable. Stopped for gas, Genesis confessed. I love you. Joy exploded, but timing suspect. Why now? Skepticism. As miles dwindled, plans formed. Tell Mom together. Terror gripped. What if backlash? Approaching Chicago, nerves frayed. We can do this, she assured. Doubt whispered no. Home loomed. Moment of truth. But twist. Mom waiting outside, expression thunderous. I know, she said flatly. Shock hit. How? Genesis paled. Had she confessed? Confrontation erupted. Mom accused betrayal, words venomous. You corrupted her, at Genesis. I defended. It's real. But Mom's pain cut deep, tears please. Genesis stood firm. I love her. Declaration bold, but fallout immediate. Mom disowned me temporarily, slamming door. Heartbroken, I turned to Genesis. But she hesitated. This is too much. Retreat? Betrayal ultimate. You promised. She left, citing damage. Alone world crumbled. Was it worth it? No rethink, drama peaks. Actually, Mom's discovery via text snooped. Argument epic. Family values clash with love. Genesis chose me, but at cost. Friendship lost. We left together, starting anew. But pain lingered. Sacrifices made. Inner reflection. Right choice? The approach to Chicago felt like marching to execution. The skyline a jury of steel and glass. Genesis's hands shook on the wheel, her composure cracking. Nova, if it goes bad, remember I choose you. Her words warmed, but fear iced my veins. Mom's house, a symbol of stability, now threatened collapse. My mind replayed scenarios. Acceptance? Unlikely. Rejection? Probable. The moral weight crushed. Betraying trust for personal happiness, selfish or necessary. We pulled up Mom's car in drive. She emerged, arms crossed, eyes narrowing. You're late. Tension palpable. Inside, the living room felt like a courtroom. Sit, she commanded. We obeyed, hands clasped hidden. She paced. I sensed something. Genesis, you were to help her. Accusation sharp. Genesis spoke. I did. By listening. Mom scoffed. More than that. I saw texts, accidental glimpse when you left phone. Privacy violated, but irrelevant now. Mom, I love her, I declared. Shock registered. Her? My friend. Betrayal doubled. Arguments ensued. Mom cited Bible, society, age. Unnatural. Wrong. I countered. Love isn't wrong. Genesis defended. We've struggled too. But Mom's hurt erupted. You stole my daughter. Tears flowed. Family fractured. Genesis stood. I resign friendship if needed. Mom banished us. Out. We left hotel-bound. Devastation hit. I'd lost home. Genesis held me. We'll build our own. But guilt consumed. Her sacrifice, career risk, social circle. Days blurred. Temporary apartment, job hunts. Mom called eventually Olive Branch. Talk. Meeting tense. Reconciliation attempted. But scars deep. Trust eroded. Genesis and I grew stronger, but at what price? Society's stares, family whispers, constant battle. Inner question. Was the damage justified? After the confrontation, I wandered streets, mind a storm. Mom's words echoed. How could you? Her pain mirrored mine, love clashing with expectation. Genesis found me, embrace comforting. We fight for us. But doubt. Her divorce echoed, patterns repeating. Weeks later, therapy helped unpack. Internalized homophobia, generational gaps. Mom reached out, therapy joint. Slow healing, but tensions lingered. Genesis's firm faced backlash, clients left. Sacrifice heavy, love tested. Yet in moments alone worth affirmed. But moral ambiguity, right or wrong. The apartment in downtown Chicago felt like exile. Walls echoing our whispers as Genesis and I navigated the aftermath. Mom's disownment hung heavy, her last words. Don't come back until you fix this. A dagger. I stared at the ceiling nights, questioning every choice. Was love's pursuit a heroic stand or reckless destruction? Genesis slept fitfully beside me, her career teetering from rumors in her legal circle. It's worth it, she murmured, but her eyes betrayed doubt. Days turned to weeks, routine a shield against chaos. I took a barista job, grad school dreams deferred. Customers casual homophobia, jokes, stares, amplified isolation. Inner monologue raged. Why endure for a relationship born in secrecy? But Genesis's touch grounded me. A reminder of authenticity's value. Mom's first call came unexpectedly, voice brittle. Can we talk? Hope flickered. We met at a neutral cafe. She looked aged, eyes red. I don't understand, she admitted. I explained patiently. Feelings innate, not choice. Genesis joined, tension thick. I never meant harm, she said. Mom accused. You should have known better. Debate reignited. Ethics, faith, society. Mom cited tradition. I progress. Tears bridged gaps, but resolution elusive. Give time, she pleaded, leaving us in limbo. Genesis faced her own battles. Ex-husband's mocking calls, friends distancing. I lost everything. She confessed one night, breaking down. Guilt surged. Had I dragged her down? No, she insisted. You freed me. But the cost visible, sleepless nights, weight loss. Social pressures mounted. Online trolls after a leaked post, family gatherings excluded. I internalized judgment, questioning morality. Defying norms righteous or arrogant. Therapy became lifeline unpacking traumas. Love challenges systems, therapists said. But sessions revealed cracks. My resentment toward Genesis for initial hesitation, her toward me for pushing. Argument peaked one evening. You regret us, I yelled. She denied. I regret the pain. Reconciliation passionate, but fragile. Mom's gradual thaw. Invitations to dinner, awkward but progressing. I love you, she said hesitantly, but this. Acceptance partial, conditional. Genesis's firm stabilized, pro bono work fulfilling. We attended pride events, community healing wounds. But betrayals lingered. A cousin's snub, a client's withdrawal. Highs and lows cycled. Moments of joy, trips laughter, interspersed with doubt. 1 year later, stability tentative. Mom tolerated, but distance remained. Reflecting, choices debated, damage versus growth. Genesis proposed. Marry me? Joy but hesitation, more fallout? I accepted, ring symbolizing commitment. Wedding small, mom absent initially, then appeared tearfully. Reconciliation bittersweet, scars permanent. Society evolved slowly, but personal battles won. Yet, in quiet moments, question persisted. Did we do right? The story ends with this. Was it morally right to pursue a forbidden love, knowing the pain it would cause to family and society? Or was it a selfish act that prioritized personal happiness over collective harmony?